Yeah.
If you look in the mirror and you're not happy, not just content,
Right.
you know, if you're not happy with what you see, then yeah, you need to change some things.
Right.
You are now listening to the thoughts and sounds of IC the God King. This is the IC Experience.
Bulb comes on and it's
Right.
like, wow, bro, like I've been consuming, like, how many chicken tenders a year are you eating?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it helps you get things in perspective.
Right, right.
I just started really focusing on what I'm putting in my body, and then cooking more. You know what I'm saying? And it's changed me a lot because like now when I go out to eat, I could taste the different seasonings, and I'm like, oh, okay, I feel like they put some rosemary mixed in with some cinnamon. Now where before I would just
rosemary.
I'll just eat and just be like, oh, this tastes good.
Right.
But you're right, whatever you put in, that's also gonna mess up your brain that's down here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you ain't gonna be able to recognize the signs of trying to get out the loop if you like bloated and fatigued and tired.
And I think it's like you said earlier, it's like you have to know. Yeah. Like you have to know that you're looking for signs, and the signs that you want to see for the message that you want to have.
Yeah.
It's like you have to know when you look in the mirror, because I've, for the past couple months, I just look in the mirror and I'm just like, that's not it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, right. I don't know what you got going on, where you plan on going with this, but this is a problem and you need to fix it.
Yeah.
If you look in the mirror and you're not happy, not just content,
right?
If you're not happy with what you see, then yeah, you need to change some things.
Right.
You need to change some things, man. And I think that's a sign that you do need to change some things.
Yeah.
It's a definite sign that there's some things need to change and you just haven't been doing it.
Right.
But yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's it's all a part about growing up and being mature to even recognize that stuff, especially as you say, you get older, you got to be careful around like who you hanging out with too. Because there's some people that is enjoying being stuck in the lower level loop.
Right.
And if you like are not conscious and aware, you'll be hanging out with them, and then you'll look up and now you the old man in the club or something bad, you know what I'm saying?
Right. So, you done got a stroke or a heart attack or as we get older, man, all of those things become real problems.
Right.
And the one thing that I've seen people that you don't want to deal with when you're older is first health problems, second money problems.
Right.
Right.
So. Yeah, because I've seen older people when I was coming up, and then I'd be like, they be trying to tell me about how, hey, this is how you need to do this. I'm like, dog, you ain't even got your situation figured out. Like, what have you been doing for the past 50 years, 40 years? Right. And I understand things happen, where, some unforeseeable event. But it's almost like
it's all a loop.
Right.
You just got caught in one of them damn loops.
Right. And it's a phrase that I came up with, like, people get older. They age, but they're not maturing. So I came up with this phrase called chadults.
Okay.
Like they're still childlike, but they're adult. If you look on them, you think they're an adult, but if you let them speak, you can tell the type of tree it is by what type of fruit it bears. You know what I'm saying? So
that's Tallahassee original.
Yeah. A couple of fig trees out there. And goddamn 3 mango seasons away from getting where they need to be. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a lot of people parading around as adults, but they're really not. They're still young kids in their mind.
Right.
They just have an adult body and they're kind of running around aimlessly doing things, and you can see it, man. It's sad, and but it's like I said a couple episodes ago, as long as your circle's strong, somebody gonna come pull you to the side and say, hey bro, you tripping.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. Having that network, man, is so important. of people who you can rely on, who support you, who want to see you win. And it sounds cliche, because, but it sounds cliche, but the thing is that it's rare. It's not necessarily like that's an abundance. Everybody doesn't even have. You might have to move to a different city or state for you to accomplish this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was blessed and fortunate enough to meet good people early, you know, and those relationships really stood the test of time. And you know, but I think about some of the men out here who are dealing with the stresses of everyday life,
Right.
of you know, like me and you was talking about it, how like you might see somebody out, they look like an average Joe, maybe like life is kind of getting the best of them, and it's not that, you know, it's easy to look at people and think that they don't want anymore,
Right.
you know, but it's just like, yeah, you didn't really have the tools mentally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The tools mentally. You haven't seen the things that you need to see to help you understand that all of this is under your control and manipulation. You know, and some people, the people that don't know this,
right, they fall for the traps.
They don't know. They're slaves to it.
Yeah.
They're our slaves. Right? Because we know and you don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, you gotta have that, because you might be in a relationship with a woman or whatever, and when y'all going through it, it's sometimes you don't know what's okay. This is constructive criticism, and I can take this and use that.
Right.
And what's, oh, she's just trying to crush my soul right now. She's just trying.
Right.
She's trying to incinerate me right now. You know.
Right.
And after dealing with that over time, bro, it wears you down. And if you don't have a team, a community of people who are dealing with these kind of things,
right?
You know, because some of these things in specific situations, it's like, where do I go get a haircut? And that's just an example, hypothetically speaking, right? But that's very specific information. You know, it's like, okay, you know, maybe I haven't been getting a haircut for a while and I want to look clean.
Right.
You know, how do I go about finding a good barber? You put me on to that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you put me on to it, because I'm just riding around looking for barbershop. And in my mind, the information is already there.
Right.
But you the one turned the light, press the button.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, oh, this how you do that. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
You only as good as your network.
That's it, man.
And if you can identify that maybe you're in the network and you're the one that's pouring into everybody else, but you're going to need somebody to pour back into you too.
Right.
So you got to be conscious of that, because it's like mental fatigue, it's emotional fatigue, and it's also a physical fatigue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's a lot that you can, and I'm guilty of it too. Like, I'll be doing something for so long that I didn't even realize how exhausted I was.
Right.
You know, because I just got used to working that pace, and I done built up a tolerance. You know, I would go to sleep tired and wake up tired. Right.
You just got used to that.
Yeah.
But, hey, that's just life, man.
Yeah.
That's how everybody does it.
Yeah. But you know, now, like you said, I was in the loop and my body was giving me signs, and now I was like, man, I really need to focus on sleeping. You know, and I've ever since I've been doing that, you know, it's made a huge difference in the way I think, the way I attack a situation or looking at a solution for a problem. It's almost as important as going to the gym.
Right.
You know, and you always have to try to balance all of these things, you know. Yeah. And it could be a long laundry list. You know, I got to balance being a father. I got to balance making sure my nutrition is right. I got to balance the exercise. It's all of those things, and it can be a lot, you know. And like I told you on the phone this week, it's up to us to cultivate other people's minds, because they might not even know they need to be doing none of this stuff.
Right. Yeah. You need to be, you know, looking good, feeling good when you leave the house. It ain't have to be every day.
Right.
But at least 2 or 3 times a week, you need to be going, putting it on, getting your hair cut, taking a bath, brushing your damn teeth,
Right.
you know, shaving your
Smelling
chest
good,
hair, right? Smelling
good.
you good. Your
Yeah.
nails need to be clean.
Right.
You know, you might need a manicure, you might need a pedicure.
Right.
You know, so yeah, looking good, man, and feeling good is so important. And like you said, nutrition and exercise is a huge part of that. And we also have to keep in mind that when we're manifesting, see, a lot of us are manifesting from places of programmed ideas that have been you know, indoctrinated into us from childhood through the movies, the music, school, you know, our parents,
right.
you know, just regurgitating whatever they're told.
Right.
Yeah, so you know, one thing that I have come to understand in the manifestation of things is that the canvas is blank. Is what I want it to be. It doesn't have to fit the mold of what anybody else feels is right, wrong, good, or bad.
Yeah.
You know, and we have to be conscious and aware of that when we're speaking and thinking about what we want for ourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty good, man. So I think so what's the takeaway? What you got for a final thought on all of this stuff?
So what we started off with Dame.
Right.
We went into the loops.
Right.
We discussed breaking the loop.
Right.
What came after breaking
and
the
then
loop?
Balancing sleep, rest, nutrition, your life, you know,
having a network
right.
of people who can support you and
Right.
living a balanced lifestyle.
Right. Yeah.
So I think the takeaway is, man, I think the biggest takeaway from this, like the lowest hanging fruit for anybody, man, is get some good people, get around some people who are moving in the direction that you want to go in. Either they're already or they're moving in that direction.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say, trust your gut. You know, that's sometimes I would go against my gut, and because my brain is like hoping for the best.
Right.
And then at this age I'm at now I'm like, I don't even hesitate. If somebody asks me to do something I don't want to do, I just like, nah, I ain't doing it, bro. You just gonna have to get mad at me. And on top of that, protect your peace. You know, we didn't talk about that. So you got to protect your peace so that nobody gonna take care of you but you. Nobody gonna do it better than you. You know what I'm saying? And if you're lucky enough, you get some people that around you that do it too. Like, you just got in the car and you just blessed me with a gift right now. You know, that made me want to go back and do some more. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's my takeaway. You know, so another great episode. Appreciate you, bro.
Well, your fucking ass.
Oh yeah, love you too, my dog. All right, man. We out.
All right, bet.